a wee stroll around the back walk, and we'll start our walk just off the Colin Exchange Road, and we'll start up the path here. Now on the left there we've got a tree carving of a wolf, and this wolf's saved Stirling at one time. A bit up the path we've come to this junction, and there's many ways to get onto the back walk, and you can see there's a big flight of steps takes you up from the lower end. Now what you see in front of you is the town wall, and it's been breached here to build the old high school. If you pause the film here, you can maybe read that. The old high school is now the Highland Hotel. There are some interesting places down here. Albert Hall's down here. Some churches. And that's Albert Place, Bowling Green. That's a King's Park in the distance there. Down there is the Smith's Institute. Art Gallery. And all the historic artefacts are in there. The behead and axe and the gallon jug. The gallon jug was a standard measure in olden days, and everybody had to conform to that to see that nobody got short measure. The hills in the background there are the two hills, and that's where Stirling got its water from. They had a big reservoir up there. That building up there is the Guildhall. This was a hospital for the needy in the town, and this is it before it was done up. You know, you see old Stainy Breaks up there. He's had a change of clothes recently, and the front of the building's all been nicely painted. It's said that he jumps down there in Hogmanay and heads down the town for a good time. John Cowan was a great benefactor to this town of Stirling. His house was down in St Mary's Wynd. Just a ruin now though. The hospital then became the Guildhall, where the tradespeople met. That's where they decided who would work and who wouldn't work. Closed shop situation. Back onto the back walk, and here, well, there used to be a seat there, and there's this plaque, but I don't know what's written on it. It's too chipped and worn away. Now this is the Ladies' Rock. This is where all the gentle ladies used to stand up there and watch all the goings on in the valley, which which is now a cemetery. And down here is the King's Knot, sometimes called the Cut and Saucer by the locals. In days gone by it would have been all planted out and looking nice. Now it's only somewhere to walk your dog. This is a valley cemetery, and that's the Ladies' Rock behind here. Now this used to be a fairground where they had jousting and they had horse fairs and all sorts of tournaments and stuff. Now if you had a mind to go to the castle, you go straight up that path there, past the daffodils. There's a flight of steps that take you up to the Esplanade. But we are going down this path here, round the back walk. Here we have another tree carving. All these carvings were nice when they were first made, but the weather's taken its toll. Still quite nice though. There's a lot more carvings on the paths leading down to the lower back walk, scattered all around, but they're all facing the same decay. That there is Stirling Show Park. This is where Runrig had their last concert. For people outside Scotland, Runrig was a famous Scottish band of long standing. That farm there is called Fallinridge, and they have a nice butchery there where you can buy meat products. And here we have a guy that thought he could fly. He built himself some wings, he went up to the top of the castle and jumped off. He actually survived. There's a plaque here, and if you pause your player, you can have a wee read at it. We've just come from that path across there, and we're going to cross the Ballingeith Road. That road takes you up to the castle. And down there is the Rattler. Famous part of town. You've got to be careful going along this part of the walk, because on the left hand side there the bank drops away at a very steep angle. And then we come to a fork in the path, and the path on the left leads you around to another bit of the downhill. The path on the right takes you over the hill down to the main road, and that's the one we're going on now. If you're feeling kind of energetic, there's wee side paths takes you up to the top of these boulders here, and there's a lot of wee paths like that. Another fork in the path. We're going to take the left one, but the right one takes you up to the Ballingee Cemetery, and you can go from there down onto Barn Road and down to the main streets. Up here we have a pair of cannons and the beheading stone, but it's a very steep path up to it. You'll be puffing and panting at the end of it. Here we have a pair of cannons, and they're the same as the ones in Broad Street. The cannons were never fired from here, they're just a pair of ornaments. Don't know how they got them up here. And this is the beheading stone. And there it is. There's a groove running down the side of that boulder there. Blood's supposed to run down there when you got your head chopped off. Whether it's a true beheading stone is debatable. I think if it had been of any interest, it had been in a museum. Still, it's an interest on the top here. A lot of people were executed on the top of this hill though. Down there is the Ratloch. And that big boulder there is Craigforth. The Castle Rock and Craigforth there were all left by the last ice age. That's the castle up there. So we'll end our walk here.